Ladies and gents, welcome to the third round in Group T. We already know what has happened with Viper and Valis. We now have Dark in the red here, and Dark has been amazing so far. He beat the Viper, he beat Valis in his first 2 rounds and has 4 wins, and is looking for more. Now, he's gone for the melee. Daniel has gone for the Cumans here. And I remember this from previous seasons of Titans League and maybe some other events. This is a sneaky pick. Normally, you're seeing civs that boom up and take water. But the plan for Daniel, you kind of know right off the bat with the Cumans, his plan is to go for a second TC and boom up on land. So I actually played some practice games with Daniel like a year and a half, 2 years ago, both with and against Cumans. Another pick that was incorporated in the past was actually poles. Having access to all this stone and going like scouts, for example, in combination with water can be kind of tricky. So it's certainly bringing up some past picks here. And honestly, I kind of like the play from Daniel because Daniel is more of a land player, not a water player. And Dark is probably maybe slightly better when it comes to the standard type of game you might have here on Shoals. Now, Daniel, he has 2 wins right now, which isn't horrible. The first round, he got swept, so it didn't look good for Daniel. Second round, he lost the first game, and you're like, oh, crap, this is going to be, relegation situation for Daniel. But what happened was he then won 2 straight against freaking Andy, and some of those games are amazing. He was behind in game number 2 and came back to crazy Kilimanjaro game. And then he went man-at-arms and archers against Andy here on Shoals with Dravidians. And for those that didn't see it, it's not going to be as funny of a memory. But for those that did see it, like, 11's in the chat, dude. That was crazy. Tower getting deleted. No loom. Like, that game was an absolute masterpiece. So, I think Daniel will want things to be a little bit more structured here. So I do think you'll still see a dock. Daniel will still do that. You still have the fishing eco. But then fast feudal into a second TC would make sense. Now, the wood lines on this map can be really awkward. So I'm wondering where Daniel will TC. It's kind of awkward. MBL's in my chat. MBL, where do you think the town center will go? Oh, wise one. Oh, wise boomer. We look to you for guidance. I was thinking maybe the TC could go over here. The downside of building the TC over here, though, would mean that you could get pushed, potentially. And that's something that Dark's got to think about now. Dark's got to think, do I have to fast castle and go elephants and siege to stop this guy, or what do I do? In theory, you could go for water control. You could win water and then just stay on 1 TC. So it's 1 TC and fishing ships against 2 TCs and no fishing ships. But there's a sea tower. And so the sea tower pretty much guarantees that some of Daniel's fish are going to be alive. Tiny detail, I would really prefer that Daniel take this fish first. That way this fish is safe for later on. But again, that's a tiny detail here, so. Yeah, so this is not my American bias, I promise you, okay? But I would like to see a 2-1 Daniel victory, right, in this series, because then you'd have Heart at 5 wins, you'd have Viper at 5 wins, you'd have Dark at 5 wins, you'd then have Daniel at 4 wins, freaking Andy at 3, and then Valis at 2. So it would actually make the group the most competitive. It kind of keeps everyone in the running a little bit. Valis is obviously still going to be in a pretty rough spot. We'll see. Daniel's scout just passing, coming on through. And a map that's usually all about fast castle or winning water is going to look a little bit different because of Daniel's pick here. And Daniel 3-0 would be huge for his chances. We thought this group would be Daniel competing against Dark, freaking Andy, and Valis for the 3rd and 4th spot. But now it's kind of looking like Dark, he's not guaranteed anything, but if he wins here, he's winning the race for at least 2nd place. And he's certainly being competitive for 1st with Heart too. Oh my god, what? Guys, I said it before, Daniel can't help himself. He always has to kill something. Like, he cannot chill. He has no chill whatsoever. And there is a Vil coming. And he's walking to the back corner of Dark's base here. Now, Dark's about to hit Feudal Age, and I don't think Daniel's expecting that. Dark could actually chase the scout down and maybe kill it. But there goes Ron into the corner, never to be spotted. Who knows what what the plan is. And let's go! We have our YouTube thumbnail! YouTube thumbnail, let's go! That's Daniel. That's Daniel. You see, some people are like this villager. And they peacefully work and they relax. And that's how they like to live their life. Daniel is this guy. He has to be harassing you. He has to be disrupting you in whatever way possible. And there we go. So I assume this is going to be archer range, but it might not be. He's still going for the second TC. And so he builds the second TC and he'll also go to gold. Oh my god, this could be sick, dude. This could be sick. Dark is going to be in such big trouble. Guys, Dark is going to look and see TCs and think that his opponent's just free booming. Daniel also saw the gold. He saw the wood line. And Dark is going to wall. Like, Dark is going to think he's completely fine. I love sneak archers, man. Sneak archers is one of my favorite things ever. Dark is trying to steal the buffalo. Dude, TCs can't hit crap. I know the devs said they fixed it, but that's like me fixing my farms. They're maybe slightly better, but they're still garbage. And that, obviously, you've got to be frustrating for Daniel. He loses the water buffalo there. But he does have the slightly faster scout. The scout is still kind of weak there for Dark. He can chase this down. And he has the archery ranges up in the back. The scout actually gets away there for Dark. Dark still hasn't killed any fishing ships yet because of the sea tower and because he's a little distracted. And he's adding lots of fish. So right now, Dark's in a great position. If these archer ranges don't do something fast for Daniel, he will be in trouble against the Malay. Like, if Dark gets to Castle Age and can build TCs before the archers do damage, we have ourselves a very different situation here. But Daniel's building the blacksmith. He's going to wait for fletching. The thing is, I don't think he can easily afford fletching. To produce vills out of 2 TCs and get fletching is going to be tough. He doesn't have any farms yet. So let's see. I do think you might even need to idle your TCs to get fletching here. Dark still hasn't killed the fish. Oh, man. Let's go, Danny boy. Let's go, dude. This is so sick. The thing is, Dark is going to be up to Castle Age so fast. Like, he could make elephants, maybe. The fact that Dark is building up a stable, the fact that he's balanced his economy like this is really impressive. Daniel, you've got to go, my friend. You've got to go. You're up against the Malay. You've got to make your move. Wow, Dark is up. Oh, he's clicked up. Dark is almost completely walled. He has no clue that's back there. Daniel still hasn't moved out. What could happen is the TC gets denied. Daniel tried to fish trap there, which is a little ambitious. He's up to 38 vills. And there go the archers. Oh, man, dude. Now, Dark does have looms. Some players would be greedy. Okay, so you have to walk towards the opponent TC before you attack, because that's the direction they will flee. Yeah, see, yeah, okay, that's what you have to do. Wow, Dark noticed that immediately. How did he notice that? That's crazy. Crazy awareness. He might have been thinking about TC locations, but he loses 3 vills. Daniel gets reward, and now Dark's eco is a mess. Daniel's eco is still cooking. He's got 2 TCs to produce vills out of. The archers are going to move all around. But great reaction from Dark. That was craziness. And, oh, man, now Daniel's trying to run through with the archers. He wants to kill. He can't help himself, but now the archers are underneath the TC. There's villagers around, and Daniel, your archers. Well, that wasn't actually... Oh, God. Okay, well, it wasn't great. In the end, I think a couple elephants would probably have pushed this back. You have to remember that the efficiency of Dark's eco has gone way down. He hasn't been able to build his second TC yet. Daniel's still running around with the archers. He can't help himself. He just can't help himself. He needs to find kills. But I don't know if he'll find them easily. Elephants are actually a little bit slower than archers are. So there is a chance that Daniel could just run around like this for a while here. So we'll continue on like this. Now, Dark doesn't know where that came from. Dark doesn't know there's still buildings back here building stuff. He might look, though, and he's even gonna he's gonna find a whole freaking base back here. He finds the market. He finds the Ville. That villager really did everything for Daniel. And now he's dead. But Daniel's cooking, and Daniel's archers are still running around. And he might find another snipe here on Dark. Great job from Daniel to still micro here. Can he get another Ville? He's also adding some spears. Still running around. Oh, and Dark with the gate. That was a sick gate there from Dark. That was sick. Wow, what an interesting game. Well, let's look at the res collected. That's even. Daniel's got 44 Villes versus 34. But Daniel doesn't have the fish. So I think the fact that Dark didn't lose more there's crazy. And honestly, a lot of that comes down to two things. The first thing, Dark had the perfect build and eco balance. As good as you could possibly get. The second thing was his reaction. He noticed the archers before he got attacked. He could have maybe lost another 2 to 3 Villes there. And now look at his adaptations, guys. He's immediately on 3 TCs. He's camping the buildings. All these buildings are going to go down. And Daniel is going to attempt to retake water, it seems, here in Castle Age. Now, I like that plan. Because that's 10 economy for Dark that's pretty much unprotected now. And unfortunately for Daniel, he didn't have the clean 2TC boom the humans would have wanted because he went for the attack. When you invest into this much army, as the archers are going to go through, and Daniel's going to find another snipe. Another snipe. He needs that. But yeah, like when you do this forward with the TCs, you're just not going to be able to have the flawless human boom. So Dark's elephants will clear all this up. It's going to be annoying for Daniel. When he needs the market and he needs the blacksmith, he's going to have to rebuild it. Looks like he did add... Maybe that's a starting scout? No, he added a stable. And, well, now he's adding ships. So Dark will see that. Dark needs to defend those fishing ships. Daniel. Why are you obsessed with corners, bro? My friend. You could just work with that stable from home. It makes really fast units. You don't need to make a forward stable. But he wants a side attack. That's his plan, and I love it, dude. Daniel just... When you've watched Daniel's games in Titans League, it's very clear that it's a high-intensity moment for him. I'm sure, like, Dark's a pretty high APM player, but I'm sure if you look at Daniel's APM, it's super high. Well, never mind. Dark is faster. But my point is at least I feel as though you could tell there's intensity. You could just tell when someone's like, oh, this is a tournament. This is war. Oh. And then you could tell when people are more adaptive and chill, you know? War Galley upgrade comes in for Daniel. I honestly think you just got to snipe the fish. Forget about the Navy. Just kill as many fishing ships as possible. He'll kind of combine everything here. And he does kill a lot of these fishing ships. That's worth it. That's really good control there for Daniel. Now the eco count's looking pretty good. And he does still have these stables. Dark, though, is actually going to go up here. Also, where are Dark's elephants at? Okay, so Dark's elephants are finished destroying the sneaky base. And so now the elephants are going to go forward. I was kind of expecting them to hit Daniel at some point. They haven't done that yet. Resources collected fairly even. It would make a lot of sense for Daniel to drop a third TC here. But again, I think he probably sold off some stone earlier. Now he doesn't have the market. God, that's so painful to not have the market to just buy some stone back. And now Lancers. I guess the plan is to raid and to get into Dark's eco, which might be possible. But Dark's got a pretty crazy eco here, guys. 4 TCs. 4 TCs. About to be TC number 5 as well in the north. So I think what Daniel's lacking right now is he's lacking a little bit of control in the critical areas. He's hoping to find some raids here, but he doesn't really have a lot of awareness of this. Now, those elephants find the Lancers. Daniel wants to TC there with that one Ville. That'll take a while. But the elephants are going to chase the lancers now. Dark noticed that, though. So Dark knows the lancers will be coming for raids. I think there's still a hole up here. I would expect Dark to look, but there's a lot going on right now. Yeah, he's double checking. I don't see any other gaps myself. If the lancers move this way, Daniel will see this. I'm sure there will be an immediate reaction from Daniel to deal with that then. And these elephants, which look so funny, dude. They look so funny just running around like that. They're going to miss that TC. And there are the lancers now. Yeah, so Daniel immediately jumps on them, knows about that. We might see Daniel aim to build a castle there. But 72 vills versus 85. Daniel still doesn't have that third TC. Does still have the production. Like, if he can control this area with a lot of army and raid all the time, get a couple TCs down here, this could be good. It's still so funny. These elephants still haven't hit Daniel's base. So I think Daniel's forgotten about the elephants. Like, I guess Dark has patrolled them here trying to deny TCs. That would make sense. And he just doesn't know about this. Funnily enough, I wouldn't actually hate Dark making more elephants right now. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Yep. Dark gets exactly what he wants. Daniel's TC will be denied here. Now, Dark will think that that's the first time Daniel's gotten here. He doesn't know about this one. Daniel doesn't seem to notice. Now he does. It's just been so scattered, so crazy from Daniel. And it's been so relaxed from Dark. Oh, but there was a hole the whole time, and the Lancers get through. Wow, I thought there was a hole before, but because Daniel didn't run in and Dark didn't wall it, I assumed there wasn't a gap. That's going to be really frustrating now. All this eco was supposed to be saved. Dark still does have elephants around. He'll add some pikes now. He'll eventually deal with this. And he is dropping a castle in the north to protect the golds. So, quick walling from Dark has been really crazy this game. Pikes and elephants are around. Just some idle time, a couple losses. I mean, Daniel has killed a lot. Daniel's killed 23 eco this game. But he hasn't made as much eco. This is so funny. Dark thinks that Daniel doesn't have gold. That's so funny, dude. That's so funny. The Lancers will kill the monk. Dark's like, easy game. I've won. I've won. I have a castle in the north. I have denied him from the south. This is my win. And now he'll see another TC. Daniel, are you paying attention, though? He's microing his Lancers, guys. He's microing those 3 or 4 freaking Lancers. And now the elephants are here. Honestly, he still doesn't have great control of this area. The elephants are still super strong. Microing the Lancers over here. We'll drop a castle here. I like that. To push this castle in Imp, maybe. But the elephants have been sick. These elephants have 20 kills. They also destroyed the entire back base from Daniel. It's been crazy. There's still Navy as well from Dark, which could help later on. He's going to have good eco up here. Oh, man. And Daniel doesn't even know about that castle? Oh, yeah, he doesn't know there's a castle there already. Oh, he's so many steps behind. He's being elephanted down here in the south. He's been castled in the north. Dark has 60 on food right now. And yeah, Daniel finds out the hard way that there's already a castle there. Hops out with the monk. Should get 1 conversion, so Dark deletes. And Dark was about to drop a castle there. But he thinks better of it, and he will just drop a castle here. It's the patient approach that he needs. Dark has been one of the standout players in the group. And he continues playing this well in round number 3, guys. I mean, I don't know how he can lose the game from here with this type of position. He's doing all the small things correctly. He's secured the one area in the north. He's now slowly pushing to castle in the south. Daniel hoping to push with the Lancers and the monks, losing track now. I think maybe he's looking here. Maybe he's looking on water to try and come back. Dark made this look super easy. If someone sneaks archers and you have no clue, like, and they're in the back of your own base, that should normally have a pretty big effect. But it really didn't here. At least Dark made it look like it didn't. Anytime Daniel's brought aggression, he's just slapped it away like it's no problem whatsoever. Or he's just produced eco faster than his opponent can kill it, honestly. Trebuchet's on the way already. This army's here. That'll mop up what Daniel has here. Daniel's 2 kip checks won't accomplish too much. And so this is going to be a Treb push from Dark immediately to push Daniel out of this corner. And I think it'll work as well. Daniel panics with a castle. He really needs this castle to go up. He could lose his TCs to all of this. Dark is at 200 pop. He's 200 pop. 150 vills, 60 on food, perfect eco upgrades. And yeah, Daniel, I mean, even if he completes this castle just gets trebbed down to the treb that's already on the way. And wow, you know what I want to look back to? I want to look back to the reaction time. Okay? Because, like, everything that has happened here for Dark at this point in this game, like, oh, okay, I went too far. So, he didn't have any indicators that this would be the case, right? His scout also wasn't in position. His scout's checking everything else. His build was perfect. Like, to get to Castle Age at this time is really the key ingredient here. Because if he's not in Castle Age, you can't make elephants. But I just want to look at this in live time again. And I just want to see how long it took him to react to this. This is his point of view. So he's looking at the scout. He's looking at his galleys. He's thinking about TC locations. He's walling. And there are the archers. So it took him, what, a second or two? And then he's out of there. Like, guys, if he doesn't realize, he loses 6 vills minimum. Because Daniel will get to the other side of them. They will never escape. What did he end up losing? 3? I think after the whole attack, he maybe only lost 4. But that was after Daniel did dances around his eco. And then, of course, Dark was fast at the TCs. The elephants were fantastic. The outposting and control in the north was great. The control in the south was great. Like, Dark just played amazing there. I appreciate what Daniel tried to do. I like the strat overall. But there wasn't as consistent a boom there from Daniel. Daniel made it too crazy, in my opinion. But that craziness will not work on Shoals. I think the craziness can work on the next map. All right, so what I was thinking was that we would go on to Kilimanjaro, because that's Daniel's home map, and that this map would be the third game, because Daniel would try and get some momentum. But it's a play all 3, and Daniel says, well, we're going to play each map regardless. Let's go for Dark's home map. That's no problem for me. Dark has Bengalis, and Daniel has Koreans. What? Koreans? I would not have expected Koreans here. Like, Korean late game is crazy strong, but they don't really have the economy to compete. I think up against the Bengalis, that could be really tricky. The Bengalis get the extra vills. They have the great monks. There's 9 relics. Like, I really don't like the Korean pick unless you're extremely aggressive here. So maybe Daniel goes for towers or something. I mean, that would kind of be on par with Daniel's approach in the previous game. I want to be as aggressive as possible, maybe. So I have kind of a funny story to tell. So I messaged Daniel after his second round where he played against freaking Andy. And I, said the usual, yo, well played. And I was like, it was really important you got that second win. Because if he only had 1 win after 2 rounds, he'd be in trouble. And I said his strats looked better. And so, guys, Daniel types on Discord like someone types within Age of Empires. And let me explain what I mean by that. So, usually, if you're typing via Discord or email or forums, whatever, you type like paragraphs and sentences. Yeah, Arbase is doing it in chat right now. That's how Daniel types. For 20 words, he will write it on 18 different lines, like he's in the game. That's how he types. So he's like, so, enter. I swear, enter. The reason, enter. I was so dead-ass awful, enter. Was because, yo, enter, has shit strategies, enter. and I should have never trained with him. Enter. That was what Daniel said, basically. So he said that his draft and his strats were Yo's fault because he trained with Yo, and then he only realized afterwards that Yo's strategies were bad once he and Yo lost a lot in the first round. So I just kind of thought that was funny. And it was kind of true. Like, Yo picked Kelt's third on both drafts in the first 2 rounds, and he also lost with them each and every time. So, I haven't been that impressed with Yo's draft either. But now I'm looking at Daniel, and I'm like, Koreans? Like, you're going to... I mean, we'll see if it works out. I think he's going to tower rush. But I just don't really love it. I also don't love the mental side of this. Like, if you lose game 2, you're going to feel worse going into your home map, probably for game 3. Like, do you not want to get this snowball mentally as well? Also, this is interesting that Dark is taking the back wood line. Wait a second. Is Dark taking the back wood line because he's expecting to be trushed? I think he might, because the wood lines are kind of close to the walls. So this isn't a typical thing. Usually you'll see people take the bigger wood lines close to the TC, but I think he's expecting a tower rush, and so he's going to the back wood. Interesting. I still am not really certain what Daniel's going to do here, because I mean, he's built a mill, which you wouldn't normally do on a tower rush. He's adding more vills, which you wouldn't normally do if you're tower rushing. We'll see. Could be guard towers in the next stage, though, so... But yeah, I think it's so funny how Daniel... I mean, Daniel's not the only one. But Daniel basically types like he's typing in Age of Empires 2. I don't know if anyone else is like that, but... I bet you there's a bunch of people in Twitch chat who accidentally say Twitch things. You're like planning Christmas dinner with your family. And like that one cousin you guys don't like is not going to be there because they canceled again. So your mom's like, sorry, son, but such and such cousin isn't going to make it to Christmas again. And then you text your brother and you're like, oh, megalol, what an idiot, keck. I don't know. Maybe people don't do that, but here comes Daniel. So he's going to attack the outside. I have accidentally messaged Age of Empires taunts to way too many people. That I'm no longer embarrassed by that, but yeah, there was a point where I was. Oh boy. No loom, Daniel. No loom, bro. Daniel. No. Daniel. You're the hope for America, Daniel. Our hopes and dreams are Yikes! He wanted to go forward Vil. He didn't get Loom. And now he's got Loom in Q. And now the Vil's not going to be there. Now, Dark has not taken this gold. He has not taken any of this wood, I think, because he's expecting a tower rush. I still don't know what Daniel's build was. This is like... It really doesn't make a lot of sense. And now he's like... I think he's flexing his build into a boom. It was definitely going to be some type of aggression. The only thing I can think of right now is that he's going to go full stonewall on the sides and boom. Here comes the Vil with loom this time. Oh, God. Okay, well, I mean, Dark can't kill that because it has loom. Dark doesn't have loom. Daniel kills a Vil. Daniel could kill more villagers as well. Yeah, this villager's going to be fine. Okay, so he's going to forward Stonewall, I guess. This might fake out Dark. Like, Dark is going to be thinking he's going to be super aggressive. But he's not going to be. He's just going to Stonewall. He's Stonewalling and he's booming. Okay. Well, the eco balance is pretty decent. Dark lost his scout. And Dark loses another Vil. What is happening? What is happening, bro? This is not the best game from both. I say this with all respect in the world because I have a fairly good relationship with both of these players. This feels a little bit more Gold League than Platinum League. And that's actually disrespecting Gold League. Gold League has been insanely sharp. But hey, where'd the Vil go? Bro! Like, what? Just finish the wall. You walked all the way over here. He saw you were walling. Are you like not walling now because the opponent thinks you're walling and you want the opponent to think you're walling, but you're not walling? Like, what are we doing? Well, maybe, hold on. Maybe. He thought that a spearman would come kill the Vil. Actually, I like that. I take it back. Because, chat, if he left the Vil there, I could so easily be saying, well, bro, why did you leave the Vil there? He knew you were there, and he was obviously going to bring some army. And there's actually archers here. So that's actually a really good play. He didn't scout the fact that it is an archer range from Dark. But yeah, Dark's getting Loom. I mean, normally, I'd really prefer the Bengalis because their economy's better. It's not that as much of a lead as you could have if you're Dark because Dark lost the 2 Vils to the scout. But he will receive 2 additional Vils when he makes it to Castle Age again. And they click up at the same time. Okay. All right. Well, now it's really important for Daniel to know his opponent has gone archers here. And if he looks, he will see archers. And that's important because I think there's a temptation here that he wants to move forward in tower. But that might be tough to justify if there could be archers out. Also, I think Dark's archer couldn't path that way. He probably clicked the archer to this corner, but because of the wall, it's pathing. Yeah. And now he's fixing the... He's like, what? Why does it keep going back? Why does it keep going back? It doesn't make any sense. And now Dark is bringing 2 Vils. What a funny game. Dark hasn't even scouted the middle of the map right now. Well, guys, live updates. Dark's at 5 wins. Daniel's at 2. Daniel needs to get wins here. He'll still have a series up against the Viper. He will still have a series up against... He played Heart. He played Valis. He'll play Dark. He'll play Viper. And I'm missing somebody who I should know in the group. And chat's going to help me. Okay, we just got some forward walls here from Dark. Which is pretty smart. Who else is in this group that I'm missing? No, he didn't play Valis yet. I was wrong. He played Andy. He didn't play Valis. That's what it was. So I thought of Valis, but he didn't play him yet. Daniel Valis is the last round. Which would be very interesting. Alright, so Dark will stonewall the sides. He's actually stonewalling the sides in a position where Daniel won't be able to see it's walled. Only thing here, Daniel will see this. And Daniel says, okay, we're going to boom. TC number 2, TC number 3. Really good eco upgrades. Okay. Honestly, he'll probably gain a Vil lead over the Bengalis, which I would have never expected. So say what you want about this weird opening, but it's kind of done something. Do I still think it's great for the Koreans? Maybe not. But I think you can win with the imp timing, potentially. I think if you go full, like, trash and towers and trebs and push the middle, this could get really dangerous for the Bengalis. 4 TC. Daniel's cooking, bro. I actually like this. You need extremes right now. Because if you play like the Bengalis play, they will out-boom you. And that is not going to happen now. Dark will drop a TC over here as well. That's a bit weird. You really would want your TCs to be up as fast as possible. This is obviously a good position. But, like, you do delay your town centers just a little bit. I think Daniel's TC production will be fine. He'll have some idle TC time, but he has a lot of farms. He's adding more all the time. The thing that Daniel won't have, though, is the relics. Also, I think Daniel has clicked this Vil to go wall this. Here we go. don't attack him. Okay. All right. Boxing match. Here we go. We've got Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. Who do we think's going to win? Okay. Well, now Daniel is building a gate through the opponent's wall. Oh, but it was a palisade gate. He needed it to be a stone gate. Now there's archers, and now Daniel is running, and now Dark is going to go chase the Vil. And that doesn't work out well for Daniel. He's going to save it. He's going to save it. He's going to save the Vil. 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 Dead. Well, I mean, that's time where he couldn't be farming. Focused on farming, so it wasn't the best. He did kind of trap the Vil. I don't know. And the Vil is dead. Okay. Someone says, I hope Daniel gets demoted so we don't have T-biased anymore. Don't call me T-biased. I predicted Daniel to get relegated. Sorry, Daniel. Look at my predictions. I think it's going to be a tough ride for Daniel. It doesn't matter who the player is. When a player's doing some things which doesn't necessarily help them get victory at this level, I'm going to call it out. I think it's been kind of rough from both of them here. Very creative naming, though. I did like that. It's just been a weird game. That's all. It's been a funny game. I think many people wish there were games like this more frequently. Nikov says, mind explaining to me what's going on this game? I just started to watch and nothing I'm seeing makes sense. Okay, Nikov, let me recap, okay? Let me recap. First off, Daniel picked Koreans in his draft for this map, which I have no explanation for. But his plan was to go fast feudal into a forward Vil and army on the outside. The villager didn't have loom, so he lost his Vil in Dark Age. So then he decided, I'm going to boom, and I'm going to forward wall the sides. And so his forward wall was here on this side. And then he was starting to forward wall here, but then he got spotted by the scout. He killed the scout. Dark made an army to kill the Vil. Daniel then backed away. Daniel then ended up just walling here. And then in the process of confusing himself, Daniel somehow confused the opponent more. And then Dark also did some weird stuff. So, we've got a armored elephant now from Dark. Dark is about to push. Daniel has an outpost here. Daniel can see this. Daniel needs a castle. I don't hate guard tower defense. I wouldn't mind a castle, though. This is a big push coming from Dark. Dark's going to go forward castle. Dark's got armored elephant. He's got 7 relics in that monastery. And here comes Dark to pressure. Daniel has no army right now. The only army he's going to have is the Mangonel. He does have some monks around trying to get relics, but it's too late. I think a castle and imp is what you would probably want here if you're Daniel. Imp race against Bengalis is really tricky. Oh, man, and Dark already has redemption, so Daniel's Mangonel can't actually move out there. Daniel will idle his TCs. He knows this is all about Trebs now. He's about to click up. He's making another siege workshop for some reason. It just doesn't feel like Daniel's all there today. He does click up. But Dark will click up as well. This castle for Dark, at the very least, will buy him some time, right? And make life very difficult for Daniel. Daniel, I think, believes that Dark is imp faster than him. Because usually you're not going to place this castle until you're already on the way to imp. But what do you make as the Koreans now? I think you have to make skirms. I think skirmishers and trebs is what you open with. As weird as that sounds. And Daniel's getting devotion because he's scared of those monks, which I think is great. It's 8-1 on the relic count, but the relics are, well... Ah, okay, well, they're in different monasteries. But the point is if Daniel pushes the middle, he could get those relics. He could still kill Dark here. He's got a big boom lead. 20 villager lead over the Bengalis. That's pretty wild. And Daniel just, he feels like his opponent's a minute faster to imp, and then if he just built his castle here, it would begin to get trebbed down. He will have protection for his trebs with skirmishers, so I like the moves from Daniel. He's concerned. He'll drop another tower. You could tell there's nerves at play here, but he knows those monks could be tricky to deal with. And that tower is going to go up. Elite Skirm will come in. You get the armor upgrades for free with Koreans. Daniel does have a lack of stone, though. So he won't be able to build that many more castles with how things are looking right now. Obviously, the longer Dark holds the middle, the better it is for him. But he doesn't really have a lot of army prepped compared to Daniel. Daniel's got the ranges up. Daniel's got the upgrades in. And Daniel will be like, I'm imp faster? Let's go. Elephants have taken out some houses. They can't really advance that much further forward. And Daniel backs away with the siege because of the monks. So, I mean, if you're Daniel... Oh, he did... Oh, wow. He did actually ram this open. So he can actually come out here. That's a pretty big deal. But yeah, you gotta just send it. Dark is building even another castle now. The one thing I'm not sure on, though, is do you actually make bombard cannons if you're Koreans here when the opponent has that many monks with redemption? I feel like you want to because your opponent can't make them. But if you do that, they could so easily just convert them. It's so painful. That's a lot of skirms. It's just skirmishers, too. Just toss your skirms away to kill monks. Who cares? Good move from Daniel. See, now you could justify the bombard cannons. This is great from Daniel. Dark doesn't have many repair villagers here. Dark could lose his castle. Daniel needs to repair his trebs. There is a bombard cannon on the way. Dark doesn't have an awful lot yet, but he does have skirms in queue. And Daniel is towering and Vil rushing this side. Dark is in a panic now. Dark is trying to wall this. It will get denied by a tower. That'll give Daniel access to stone. And Daniel's boom and his early in play has been really good. It's been really good. And his skirm production's been great. He's got tons of production buildings all the time. And he will take the castle down. If he can push middle, guys, this is where Dark's production buildings are. Dark could be in big trouble. This is such a big deal, the fact that Daniel's going to take this stone. I'd love to see Daniel wall that, but that's going to be tough to focus on and think about. All right, skirm v skirm with some monks in the mix. Daniel wants the monks because the monks can take his cannons. There should be cannons on the way. He lost his siege workshop moments ago, though, before he got a new one. And Dark is getting crazy techs right now. Dark is going to go light cav against the skirms. But he loses a trap. There's the stables. I mean, Dark sends the light cav here, and Daniel loses all those vills, right? So even that could be good. Daniel needs to push fast, because it's at the point now where the opponent could and should go light cav. Oh no, the mangonels, the mangonels, the mangonels. Delete them, Daniel. Delete them. Delete it, delete it, delete it, delete it, delete it, delete it. Okay. Sheesh. Not good for my heart rate, but still. Finally, Daniel's bombard cannons are here. The trebs for Dark are exposed. Dark will lose his treb. He'll probably lose the next one. There's not many monks here for Dark at the moment, but he's got 8 relics behind, so he's got plenty of gold. Man, Daniel, I don't know if you have the stone to build this many towers creeping across the map, but he is getting Ypsiong now. He does still have this stone. He's going to drop a tower now here. This stone is so critical for him. He doesn't have any other access. Soon he's going to run out of gold, too. He needs this gold. Dark is getting Mahayana now out of the forward castle. So that will mean his vills take up less pop space. I don't think he completes the tech, though. I feel like that tech... Oh, it's going to be really close. Ah, it will complete. Tower does go up, but the tower still doesn't protect the vills. So I didn't love that for Daniel, and I think this is going to be good for Dark. Mahayana does complete, so he can have a crazy boom. There is a treb here? There is a treb from Dark, trebbing the tower from the middle. And now the vills are mad. So the Vills are going to go attack that. Daniel's moving forward still. Dark's losing everything there. He's actually housed. But Daniel is losing a lot of control on this outside area. Because the treble... The Treb might take out the tower. What is happening? Tower will stay up. Well, the Light Cav might deal with it. Who knows? Light Cav will come to the middle now. Monks from Dark are locked in on those bomber cannons, but the Monks get sniped, and the Light Cav don't have full armor yet. That's a lot of towers for Koreans. I don't think the Light Cav do much, but Dark's holding. And the thought of, like, just skirm, Light Cav, and holding is great. Eventually, you could maybe get to elephants. He won't snipe a bomber cannon, but he's holding. That's all that matters. He has not lost ground. He is not giving Daniel access to this gold. And he's getting more snipes here as well. Daniel's also over-chopped here. Yeah, Daniel's really struggling now. He's lost so many Vills. He needs the push through the middle. It's all got to come fast now. I wonder if it's worth it for Dark to try Onager here. It feels very unnatural as a player. Oh, man. Oh, Daniel doesn't know. He's over-chopped. That's such a significant loss. And now he's distracted, and the Light Cav are on the front for just a moment. And the Light Cav will snipe a cannon. Another cannon gets converted. That cannon gets converted. Oh, disaster for Daniel. Disaster, man. Loses every single cannon on the front. 56 villager kills from Dark. A crazy economy. And, yeah. Like I said, that was the only push. When you don't have those relics, when you're being raided on the outside, you really need that to work. And Dark was just hitting him in so many different spots. The raid there, the Treb, the bit of raid here. You could tell Daniel's still focused on that. I think we might see Dark think about raiding this side in a second. Now Dark could chill. Dark, man. I mean, this game was kind of wild and messy. But he's about to be, at the very least, 3-0 in sets. And I mean, we'll see what Daniel does. I think Daniel's going to perform very well in his home map. Oh my god, what a shot. But, like, Dark could get the 3-0 here. He's looked so good. The Koreans is just a questionable choice from the start. And Daniel did try and make it work. He did have a snowball rolling, but it was the outside that actually played a role here, wasn't it? The fact that Dark could raid the north really affected Daniel's ability to focus in the middle. Oh my god, but now Daniel's gonna push? Okay, Daniel's got his cannons here now. He's gonna try and go Halb, bombard cannon. Where's Daniel's gold income? It says he has 30 on gold. Okay, so that's this. It's 2,500 more gold. Can't take this. Oh, and I guess there is this as well. So, okay, that's a decent amount. Siege Elephant about to complete here for Dark. And he completed Elite Battle Elephant. What? To complete both those upgrades is like 5k resources. That's crazy. He's gonna Siege Elephant and he's gonna Battle Elephant at the same time. Really bad day to be an elephant. I can't zoom in on these Siege Elephants without feeling very bad for them. They don't look like they want to be there. But this is about winning the war, all right? We don't care about the elephant's feelings. Sorry, that was not my thought. That was history. That was not me. That was history speaking. Bombard cannons are pushing. There's not a lot of support. Here comes Dark. And, oh my goodness, there's not enough to support against this, man. These Bengali elephants are insane. They don't care about your towers. And I think Daniel now, I mean, his pop is pretty high. No one wants to resign at 180 pop. But the position is brutal. Like, how is he supposed to stop this? He didn't lose his cannons, I guess. The Siege Elephants haven't taken out many towers yet. But he's slowly running out of res compared to Dark. It honestly could have been a way better fight from Dark. He didn't have his elephants grouped up properly. And all right. I mean, guys, if Daniel can get to 5 bombard cannons and a big trash army, he still has one more push in him. You just need that. You need, like, a big army with cannons, and you have a chance to maybe push back through the middle. That's where the relics are. That's what you're hoping for. These towers, 50 kills, by the way. That's a fourth of Daniel's kills in this game. It's just these towers. The left side's kind of funny. It was just a tower attacking the castle, but now there's a Treb there from Dark. Daniel will soon overchop. Daniel will run out of wood soon. And then the right side, there's still some lingering units for Daniel, but the towers are keeping him in it there. Just like the towers are keeping him in it here. I mean, that was costly for Dark. Those elephants did nothing, dude. Daniel's killed... He's destroyed 31,000 worth of value. It's only been 21k from Dark. You just can't lose these cannons. The smallest men in the group are the most important here. These short kings are here to win the game for Daniel. Dude, what a win. I mean, if he could do this now, it'd be crazy. I think he's so dead. He's fighting so hard. Elephants get shredded. Okay. I think Dark is like, what can I make here? And Daniel's like, I've got score lead. He could maybe come out and build more towers and get more gold. There's some raids out here, but it's still stone income for Daniel for more towers. Supplies comes in for Dark. He's thinking about going full trash. Full champions against the trash. Daniel's done a much better job keeping his bombard cannons alive over the last few moments. Now he loses one. Classic, but still, it's important. They still will probably be around with a couple vills out here, still mining stone. And now he's got another tower. The towers are really helpful. If you can have a tower next to your cannons at all time, the monks probably won't get conversions. Gambesons is coming in. Two-handed swordsman is now coming in. So it's going to be full champion from Dark. What's the production like? 5 barracks? 6 barracks? Funnily enough, I don't know if he's going to be able to engage against the towers. If Daniel uses a lot of his gold left to just buy more stone, the towers are going to be just shred. Can Daniel do this? Oh, that's a decent fight there for Dark. He's got so much army. Daniel hasn't completed this wall of towers yet. This is before champion comes in, by the way. I'm not actually certain Bengalis get it. They do. All right. Bombard cannon still alive there for Daniel. Daniel's tower kill total is 75 now. But towers can't kill their eco. Towers can't win you the game that way. There's the now bombard cannons from Daniel. No gold income for him. Lost this tower over here. He will get gold in a second, though. Dark has collected almost 20,000 more resources. So he's hoping to outlast his opponent here. And he would love a bombard cannon kill. And he's not going to get it. Not yet, anyways. But, like, it feels like Daniel is not protecting a winning position. If he had the relics, I'd think differently. But to have 1 relic versus 8, it feels like you need to be advancing forward. But maybe he has to wait. I think he has to wait until he mines more gold, and then he can do that. This is crazy, dude. I feel like this is something of nightmares for me. Like, when I was just learning the game, getting Tower Rush was one of my least favorite things. I'm still not a fan of it. There's actually stone here. There's still gold here. These towers are crazy. And the siege elephants are not good enough. They died to the halbs. Daniel's got a decent queue. Now, he had 2 bombard cannons over here before. I think the Treb killed one of them. That's really sick from Dark. And he kills the other one. I think Dark needs to take out this wall and raid the back. You have to hit the sides of Daniel's eco again to distract him. That's what was working really well. And Daniel, still 200 pop, but not making progress. Crazy game. There's still so much gold up here that can be taken. That's 3k. There's still gold here that Dark could take. He's actually out. Is he out of... What? Dark isn't mining any gold. He's just now able to mine gold. Whoa. I guess you don't think about the guy with 8 relics running out of gold. But I don't know. Is 8 relics enough to spam champs? Maybe? But probably not full champ. Nah, I don't think Dark is throwing. Dark has had a really good game. But Daniel has held on. Like, guys, Koreans losing a villain Dark Age. The way Daniel played aspects of this game just makes us think this is not good, this is not good, this is not good. But now that he's gotten to this stage, he's been an absolute champ. He's been fighting like a maniac. Like, this has been crazy. So let's give him some credit. The position he's in right now should not be a winning position, but he's got a chance. Now, I think he might have forgotten about these cannons. They're coming forward now. Dark is starting to take out towers, and Dark has also added his own towers, which is funny. He's like, how do you like it? And yeah, okay, raiding here is now an opportunity. Still think Dark should win this game. It's not going to be fast, but raid on the sides, and that's your ticket to victory. And oh, the bombard cannon was converted. Yeah, every time you do that, it takes you closer to victory here. Keep now from Dark. Okay, so he doesn't get the researches for free, but he can afford the upgrades. Let's not forget that Koreans have cheaper skirms and cheaper helps. So their trash units are super cheap, which really helps them in these scenarios. So they do have cheap trash. Now, their hussars are awful. So that's not really a great option for them. But it's not like they don't have any bonuses here. Also, the longer the game goes, the better towers are in a no gold scenario because it's really hard to take them down. Like that one game where we went down to the final tree on Mega Random, if you saw my video on that. And normally it's like a 25-minute game, and I'm like, man, $40 in 20 minutes. These guys are going to be getting paid like $3 an hour at this rate for their $40. Man, the Bengali keeps look pretty crazy. Don't see that every day. And Daniel micros down the Treb. But he now has keeps to contend with as well. A crazy game. Again, I think if Dark could just make some stables over here and get some raids in. Yeah, even that. This is the type of thing Daniel can't deal with as combined with everything else. Yeah, this is what worked well for Dark. The raids on the sides while also defending in the middle. Now, he did lose his Treb. But now Daniel needs to put attention and focus into those areas. And it's going to be so tough for him to do that. There's also a Treb here from Dark taking down these towers. Daniel will lose all those vills, lose access to that gold. Dark consistently has 20 more villagers than Daniel. And he has Mahayana. He's got more diverse comp. He's got the 8 relics. And the bombard cannon stays alive. It's been a lot of those moments. But Daniel's now had to drop a tower here because that's the only thing he can realistically defend with. And he might need to do the same over here, and that's less focus in the middle. Light cav in the middle from Dark. Snipe a cannon again. And Daniel is struggling. Like, in this position, I'm never calling it at 190 bills. When the win matters this much, absolutely not. He'll know his opponent has all the relics. But if he could somehow claw this one back, this would be crazy. Some quick walls now from him. Fortified wall even from him. If someone says it constantly feels over for Daniel, then he stays alive somehow. Yeah, because he's fighting really well. That's the thing, though. Like, we see a lot of players. I really think, like, the frustrating thing may be is the early moments. Because clearly Daniel, when he gets himself in this position, considering all the downsides of the position, he's playing very well. But Dark has earned himself a better late game position with the control of the golds, with the relics, with the outside controls. I'd actually like to see Dark just come castle this. Like a castle here to take this gold would be huge. You don't benefit from a castle in the middle. You can tell the sides are starting to add up now. Yeah, Dark is slowly steamrolling him now. Daniel's struggling on both sides with random units. And I think he's trying to build up his bombard cannons again and get a bit of a push going. I really like the tower addition from Dark. That was really smart. Because clearly they're very strong. And he's like, why don't I just do that? Light Cav swoop in. And another bombard cannon goes down. There's not enough towers anymore. Daniel is the most dead 190 population player I've ever seen. Like, he's the most dead 190 pop player I've ever seen. He's doing a great job. He's lost 160 bills. He's still somehow 200 pop. I don't get it. How has he done that? I didn't even realize he lost 160. That's crazy. But eventually, you think he's going to go down. Now he's taking down the Trebs with his Vills. But he lost his castle here, or whatever he had. I don't even remember. Soon, Daniel's not going to have safe wood control. Look at this. It's the wood lines that are an issue. He has no wood in the back. Dark just has to take down these towers first. And still gold and stone available in the north for Dark. Dark might just need a couple more siege elephants here, I guess. At what point do you just start putting Vills inside your towers? Or making archers to put inside your towers? Dark's towers are getting denied right now. He's got 2 doubt towers here. Okay, one goes up. The other's at 90%. Like, I get the argument for Dark to go Onager, but Onager against Korean towers is not good. They get sniped. And also against bombard cannons, it's not good. They get sniped. So, on paper, like, yeah, a couple Onager shots maybe could surprise Daniel, but Daniel's always had towers and bombard cannons. So, sometimes you just have to grind someone down like this over time. Maybe Onager could have been worth it, though. I definitely see the argument. But I think that's without thinking about how Daniel would play against it. The towers are starting to fall. This is the end for Daniel. Somehow he's still at 190 pop. I do not understand it. Dark has stayed consistent. Dark has had to grind for this victory. This has been far from easy. But it's his home map. And he's played comfortable here. Wild thing is, we will go to the third game. It gives Daniel some pretty good odds to get a win because he saved his home map for last. But yeah, Daniel winning this game now would be truly something. But I got a question, like, the fight has been fantastic so far from Daniel, but certain execution aspects hasn't necessarily been there. Dark is just now getting the stone and gold mining upgrade. That's so funny. That's what happens when you collect 11,000 gold with relics, I guess. He has gold here still, and then there's actually the gold up here, and then that's it. I guess there's also this gold. Daniel! My friend, you are in trouble. He doesn't even have this relic anymore. He's relicless. He's relicless. He's soon to be woodless. But he still fights. He re-walls. He re-lumber camps. Dark is chopping the trees with the Trebs. Dark says, I will not allow you to take the trees. That is intentional. That is not something the Trebs would normally do. I think he has shift queued those Trebs onto the trees. That's why you go Onager right there. Take out the trees. Daniel's trip. What? Daniel has 2 Trebs in the back? How long have they been there? Dude, those are some covert Trebs. I was about to make fun of them, but I don't know how you would see those. That's really tough. I guess that's why the outline's there. GG. Dude, what a game. Daniel made 25 bombard cannons that game. And the bombard cannons made some progress, but Dark always had more army. Like a true, realistic battle, the person who could simply throw more bodies into the battle and replace them wins. It wasn't necessarily about the weapons. It wasn't necessarily about the firepower here. It was just how big is our population and how many friends and families can we lose? What a great game there from Dark. I mean, it was kind of a weird opening. I kind of want to go back. Oh my god, those trebs. Oh my god, hold on. Oh my god. Oh. Guys, those trebs. Those trebs have been back there for 20 minutes. At some point, he clicked them back there. Yeah, and they were just been back there the whole game. Oh, man. I mean, I don't know if it would have changed much, but it's pretty funny. Yeah, I mean, it was... I have to question the approach to pick Koreans. I really don't think it's a great play. I think there's so many civs you could pick. If you want to be aggressive, I think there's better picks for it. If you want to be defensive, there's probably better picks for it. He did still put up a really good fight, but it wasn't good enough. Now, over 1,000 kills and deaths for both players. That's been rare so far this season. And we will head to game number 3. I'm going to go to live standings here in a second to show you the situation. Obviously, this is going to be fantastic for Dark. It is not great for Daniel, though. Daniel really needs this next win. Let me pull it up. Actually, hold on. I think people need to see the total resources collected. I didn't show that. Yeah, so 26k gold versus 14k gold. Just a crazy difference. And then the food count, obviously. All right. So game number 3 and previous game, Koreans is kind of weird for me. Chinese are so good on this map. So Daniel, I think this is his first pick. This is his home map. We have seen him play this map each series, and he's been... this is the perfect map for him. He likes his aggression. He doesn't really like water aspect or wall aspects, and that's what Kilimanjaro is all about. On the other side, though, we have Persians from Dark, and I think Persians are very solid here as well. These are probably 2 of the best economic civs in the game. And both of these civs are pretty well suited for a scout opening, which we see a lot on this map. It's not an easy map to play. It's very open. There's not a lot of wood. And then eventually you need to contest for this hill. But when Daniel played Andy on this map, he had it wasn't the cleanest game ever. And I think that's because of the nerves. I think it's the pressure of the moment that we just get so used to not seeing in high-level players. But we do see it with Daniel. But he was able to come back. I think he lost 100 vills that game, but killed 160 or something. Highly suggest rewatching that series if you didn't see that. But that's tough for me, man. To say you guys should rewatch something when there's like 3 sets a day, that's tough for you guys. So it's probably what you catch live. You'll end up watching. But at the end, I think I'll say these are the games you need to rewatch and maybe do a recap or something. So. Well, so I quite like this from Dark. Dark, I think, came forward to try and steal some things here from the Chinese. Because if you do that to the Chinese, you slow them down a little bit. But it doesn't look like he found too much. So his scout will just end up heading home. Daniel brings in the 1 elephant you have on this map. And Daniel's got an idol who's just been chilling there. And he's going to get back to work. Things are pretty good. Someone says T90. I thought Romans were the best eco civ. I mean, they're a good economic civ. I wouldn't say they're the best. Chinese with the extra vills and cheap techs is great. Persians with the faster working TCs and starting with extra res is great. I think really if you're comparing the 3 civs, though, it's just about the options. And Persians and Chinese just have easier time with military, in my opinion. The Romans just lack a little bit when it comes to their tech tree. Okay, sub shout out here. Also, do I need to run ads? I might do that now, guys. Sorry I didn't do it in between games, but we hopped right in just so you don't get it like in Castle Age or something. We'll see. Thank you, Your iPhone, for the 3 years. That's amazing. You deserve salutes. I don't know how many people will give you the salutes, but thank you. I'm saluting you right now. Tarsus, thanks for the 66 months. Super long time. Thank you. Tarsus has been around since the start. Appreciate you. Resurgence Gamer, thank you for the 25. Sovereign, thanks for the 7. Dizzy Lee Chuck, thank you. Talisto, thank you for the new sub. We've got Rosbergs with 2 years now. Thank you, everybody. Daniel needs a win, dude. He needs a win. I think the final series for Daniel is against Valis. So it's shaping up that whoever loses that series is going to be out. Oh, man, 6 HP for both. It's so close. But yeah, it could be a situation, though, if Daniel doesn't get more wins, that even if he does play Valis in that last round, regardless of his result there, he could still go down. Because Andy, after 2 rounds, is at 3 wins. Daniel's almost finished with the 3rd round, still only at 2. That's not great. T90, I'm going to sleep now. May this stream last long enough for me to sleep good. Good night, chat. What are you talking about? This is Kilimanjaro. I'm going to be screaming and hooting and hollering. This is not a time to sleep. I don't do this for you guys to relax. Well, maybe I do. That's fine, I guess. You just do your thing. Right when people fall asleep is when I just blast the ads. I'm kidding. Seriously, though, for the non-subs, I think I will run an ad now. Because otherwise it'll run in Castledge or Imp, and I didn't do it. So, yeah, if you do get one, it's not because I hate you, all right? Not trying to ruin your nap. I like the builds here from Daniel, though. I like the build from Dark. Dark stopped super quick here. Really looking to pile on the pressure here against the Chinese. And should be able to do so. Should be able to get the stable up right away. Should have enough eco. Oh, wow, he's going range. Interesting. Range opening on Kilimanjaro. I mean, he might not want to go Scout War against the Chinese. So his opponent's options might be dictating a lot of this. But I don't know if I love it because you're so far away from the opponent, it takes some time to get there. But I suppose if you go Spearman and you go Archer, and you get there before they're walled up, it could make things pretty difficult. But Daniel's going to see that and be like, what? He's going range? Super weird build, in my opinion. Both players milled the Shorefish, but that'll run out pretty quickly. Daniel's already milled the berries. And ideal world, you want to snag horse color here, but he's not doing that. I think he could probably do it, but the reason he doesn't do it is because he wants that extra scout number out there, and he feels like his resources aren't great. And yeah, actually, now that I look at it, like, he might not get that 3rd scouted if he gets there. And he really needs to have that scout number out. Nice snipe there from Daniel. So now Dark loses the scout. Dark knows his opponent's gun scouts, but he doesn't know where they are or how many. T90, do you ship merchandise to the Netherlands? Teespring should. I'm in the process of having some conversations to switch my merch store. The merch store I've used for 5 years has had some issues with getting merch to people. So some people after Hidden Cup said it took them over a month to get something, and I've had a couple people say they still haven't received it. So I'm switching it, and anyone I work with will do that. Yeah. T90, anytime someone mentions falling asleep, you should just start screaming. Nah. I don't want to give people reasons to click away. There's lots of stuff to compete with on the internet, man. I at the end of the day, I've got to be aware that if someone's here and they could be anywhere else, that's still pretty good for me, you know? So walls are up here. Does Daniel know about this 3-tile gold? He does. So that could be a safe option for gold instead of this. But he wants to go for skirms now. Just very, like, defensive opening from Dark, which isn't too uncommon. We've seen a lot of players wall on this map. The aggression mainly comes in Castle Age, but it's interesting that he opened into Archers and has been so chill. I think Daniel is hoping to immediately make skirms and jump on that army to kill it. That's just the type of player Daniel is, right? And he sees that Dark has the Archers there, and Daniel already has fletching. Gilgamesh says if someone falls asleep, they watch the video to the end and more watch time. Yeah, it actually does help. And then hopefully people who don't want to take naps actually show up. Here's a question. How many people with a 1 in chat have fallen asleep while watching one of my streams or videos and the phone has hit yourself in the face and woken you up? Like you're in bed and it's over top of your face. You fall asleep, and it just falls on your face real quick. Because I've done that before with content. A lot of you guys typed ones before I even asked the question. So I don't know if I think that many people did it, but... Interesting. Well, skirms for Daniel almost had an opportunity here. Dark just backed away, though. And Dark's just kind of coolly adding a stable here. So if this stable completes, and it will, now Dark can add some scouts, and now Daniel's skirms need to be careful. And he doesn't have much scout support, so... Daniel's going to back away. Crazy eco for him, but a pretty smooth eco for Dark as well. And Dark's army will be way stronger here. If he gets like 4 scouts with these archers, it'll be really tough for Daniel to take engagements. And Daniel's aware of that, so Daniel backing away now. You dropped your phone on your cat's face. Oh, your poor cat. Oh no, what have I done? It's one thing to affect people, but poor cat. But yeah, I try, like these days, I try not to watch a lot of videos in bed. Because it's a slippery slope, and then you're up till 4 a.m., and then you're like, I'm not tired. Why am I not tired? And it's because I've been watching videos on weird topics that I never thought I would watch. I think we've all been down that YouTube rabbit hole before. Here comes Dark. Big army. And he's going for forging as well. Wow, so instead of opening with aggression, he opens with eco, and now he's flying. And Daniel, he doesn't want to make a lot of army here. Because if he does that, then he'll delay his Castle Age. And from what he can see, Dark could just be going to Castle Age. But here comes Dark. And Dark's getting bloodlines as well. This is crazy. It's still good for Daniel, though. He has his skirms behind the walls. As long as he is walled, and he can use his skirms behind the walls, things could be okay. You know, I think a big reason Dark could justify this, guys, was because he thought that Daniel would be on this gold. But now he's probably thinking about it, and Daniel's actually able to take that gold. Good skirm production here for Daniel. That was an overchop, which he just fixed. And Dark will be up way later to Castle Age. But Dark still has a pretty solid army here. And he's controlling the whole map. Armor and bloodlines were canceled by Dark, so we could click up. That's a smart move. Simply made... You were going to get no benefit from those upgrades. Maybe forging could have helped you to take out the buildings faster. But even still, you're probably just going to take some damage. But now he can still think about those upgrades if he wants to. So Daniel wants to go skirm. Daniel wants to go knight. But this hill, this middle area, is the key on this map. Really impressed with Dark's play. Like, usually players can show up. A player who just got promoted from golds, right? They'll come to plat. They'll play well on certain types of maps, but they'll struggle on others. And Dark has been good on every map. He's been good on the water maps. He's been good on the closed maps. Aggression. Adaptation. Just everything's been super smooth from him, man. And Daniel, this is the map for him. This is where you would expect his skills to really show. And Elite Skirm's on the way. Ooh, Dark might have gone a little bit too far here. Things will get interesting now. Daniel is about to get the upgrades. That was actually a horrible engagement there for Daniel initially. But what he wants is he doesn't want this army to get away. So if he sacrifices a couple skirms just to kill all these archers, he'll consider it worth it. The scouts are being tracked by some knights. Daniel's chasing this down. There will be knights behind this for Dark. And cav archers. And Daniel's still running up the hill. We'll snipe one. Should snipe multiple archers here. That's pretty good for Daniel. I think the key is he's got to keep those skirms alive, though. Because if it's cav archers as well, the skirms are key. And is this the time that Daniel chooses to run up the hill? To go build a TC? Usually, since there's no trees up here, you're seeing the TCs on the stone and gold. He does have vision on both of those. We added 2 separate areas up there for this season compared to other seasons. Because of... It felt like whoever gets the TC up there gets too big of a lead. We want everyone to have that option. But what a great opening to Castle Age from Daniel. Oh, man. And now the TC from Dark. He didn't have the map control for this. Let's see, though. He does have 3 knights. There's a lot to look at here. Daniel's knights aren't really that strong. And he has to choose between army and between villagers that are building a TC. And it's very close to going up. I don't know if Daniel will fully deny this TC. He wants to. Skirms get some hits on the archers. I think Daniel will be happy with that. That's a decent enough engagement. And he's also killing off some of the knights here. That's a really good engagement for him. Look at the difference in res collected, though. Like I said, I think the Chinese are top tier, but Persians can match them, man. There's not many civs that can match a Chinese economy in a game where villagers haven't been killed. Persians can. Feels like mainly a Night War. I think whatever Cav Archers Dark was making, he canceled. And both civs could make camels, so we may see that. Archers are going to go down. Dark is saving his weak knight there. Daniel may wish to do the same. He's got some weak ones here, too. And the TC is going to help a little bit here. Man, so many weak units out right now for Daniel. But for Dark as well. Look at this, guys. He saved 3 units. There's 24 HP of Knight right there, and he's going to heal those up. That's so smart. I think Daniel will do the same. He drops the Monastery now. And both players queue up camels. Wow, this is close. Daniel's Knights, I think they might have gone forward as the new group. He probably sent them forward before he had pulled the other ones back. But I like to see a TC up here. I actually would have loved to see the Monastery and the TC up here for Daniel. I feel like that was an opportunity. There's a relic there. There's a lot of, like, it makes it much easier with your monks. But both players have everything at the bottom of the hill now. And monks are out, healing up. Daniel has husbandry. Dark now has husbandry. Actually, no. Daniel doesn't have... no, he did get husbandry. Sorry. Okay. So, no more archers, guys. And Daniel drops TC number 3 right here. Interesting. I mean, I don't hate it. He really needs wood, and he doesn't want an area that can be raided. So this is safe eco. I think there's some logic to it. Dark, though, will slowly build up and think about his 3rd TC. You can tell Daniel just can't help himself. He wants to do damage. And he wants to know where Dark is, and he's going to find out. That's a lot of camels from Dark. Oh, man. Daniel's clicking crossbow right now. I'm not in love with that choice. I think he wants crossbow camel, crossbow knight. Against Persians, I'm not sure I would want to go crossbow now. If you had a lot of leftover archers, then maybe. The red dot on the east side of the map, it's 2 spearmen. I thought about showing them, but then I thought that someone in my chat would say that that's stupid and they would leave if I showed them, so now they're gone, so you're welcome. But I hope that was an enriching experience. We may see those spearmen involved. There's a monk from both of them here. The monk is going to go down for Daniel. That's a lot of camels there from Dark. Dark should win this fight. Dark also completed forging in that fight. That's an amazing fight for Dark. Daniel doesn't really have a lot to fall back to here. And Dark just had so many more camels. He also got forging mid-fight, which is pretty crazy. He also kept those monks alive. So I think keeping the monks alive is a big difference. But now we also have crossbow for Daniel. Look at the Vil count for Dark. 53 seconds of TC idle time on 2 TCs, and he's ahead of the Chinese on Vils when the Chinese are on 3 TCs. But it does get interesting now. Like, if this gets up to 20 crossbows, and Daniel makes camels, and Daniel makes monks, this gets pretty crazy. It's tough for Daniel, though. He doesn't have a ton on gold. And if you lose this hill, you probably lose all position on the map. And Dark has just shifted 14 to stone. Okay, he's pulled some of them off. But he wants a castle, man. Persians get extra attack against archers, so with their knights. So obviously, you see your opponent go crossbow, you just make more knights. After taking that fight against the opponent's camels, too, it makes a lot of sense. I kind of feel like if Dark fights now, Daniel's in trouble. Daniel needs every single conversion to work perfectly, and his micro needs to be perfect as well. We'll see. That's good micro so far. Dark's going to fight this. Wow, Dark fights this. And yet again, what will happen is Daniel will lose his monks. They will never convert another unit. Dark is on the front with the knights. He has CA behind. I just don't think there's enough of a buffer here for Daniel's units right now. The crossbows are just not enough for behind. Here come the knights. And Dark backs away. Dark's going to get +2. I feel like a siege workshop would be really good for Dark. Daniel's about to build a castle too. Oh, man. And now we have a TC there from Dark to protect that. I mean, there's only 7 knights. Daniel has 2 monasteries to produce monks. Daniel will have 20 crossbows. He also has camels. He's getting ballistics. This is going to be such a close fight. Wow, Parthian tactics on the way for Dark. Persians can get that in Castle Age. That armor will be helpful here. But this will come down to if this castle goes up for Daniel or not, I think. I think we're going to see Vils come in a moment. It's a big army there. There's monks from both. Will the conversions be there? Dark will dive. Dark goes for the engagement. Ballistics isn't in for Daniel yet. It's about to be. Daniel's crossbows could kill every monk. He could kill the CA as well, even with Parthian. But what's happening behind all this? It's actually decent, maybe. It's really hard for me to tell. I think it's a good fight for Daniel. And if it's a good enough fight, he might come build that castle now. And if the castle goes up here, after he sees this TC, Dark could lose the TC and Daniel could get a win. Daniel needs this win. Even if he gets this win, he still could be relegated out of this group very easily. He needs his castle to go up. Wow. Dark needs army. He seems a little indecisive. He wasn't sure if he wanted to go knights or if he wanted to go CA. Oh my god. We'll have a castle from both of them on screen. And they both will have opportunities to deny the other's castles. The crossbows for Daniel ran right into the knights there. So they're actually just wiped up. But the camels wiped out the knights. Wow. Okay, Daniel's castle will go up. Dark's castle will go up. And then what? Like, seriously. Then what? Both... Like, Daniel's castle has ballistics. At least Dark has this gold. I actually need to see. Okay, so Dark doesn't see anything over here or over here. So he doesn't know about any of the extra golds. So, which makes this really important. Daniel does know about this. That's not easy to take. He seems to be finding that. I think Daniel needs a TC here. He needs that gold. Yeah, neither player's close to Imp, but I think Daniel's going to try that. It seems to be what Daniel's thinking. His resources are close enough, so I don't hate it. And if he can get Imp to make trebs, yeah, it could be huge. Daniel's eco on the outside could maybe be raided, but that's not really Dark's focus. And Daniel clicks up to Imp. Wow. The thing is, Daniel's castle is attacking the TC. That TC will go down... Like, it won't go down very quickly because it's Persians. Dark's making a war elephant? But, like, Dark, his castle is firing on Daniel's castle. Daniel's castle's already lost 600 HP. So Daniel needs a castle to be up for Imp to pay off for him. And there's also CA over here that now have Parthian tactics. Like, this is going to be tough for Daniel to stop. But he'll add skirms. And he's got camels. And he's got crossbows. That's a really nice find. That is a really good engagement for Daniel. You can tell Dark is distracted. Dark is distracted. He wasn't expecting Daniel to be there. But guys, Dark is making petards and rams and elephants. He's going to take this castle down. He's going to aim to anyways. You never think that the Persian player has elephants in there when you see the flag. So I think the only thing that you would see when you see that flag is you would think that that's going to be like... You think that's going to be petards, probably. So that does give him a bit of a heads up. Daniel can also see the siege workshop. I think the best unit for Daniel to commit to in Imp is actually Camel here. Yeah, and he sees more knights from Dark. This is all in Castle Age from Dark. Daniel should know. Great job from Dark. He did find this gold. So he's aware of that. He also killed Daniel's monk there that was going to get that relic, so he can get relic number 2 for himself. You can wait until your opponent hits imp, but right when your opponent hits imp, I think you need to send it for the castle. You can't let him get a treb. But I just don't know if he has enough here. There's rams. There's elephants. There's petards. That's so wild, man. Dark is so crazy. And now there's a castle from Dark. How is Daniel supposed to keep up with all this? He has added the mangonel behind for the rams, which is perfect. He has camels. He has crossbows. This is good. Dark will dive for the mangonel so the ram goes down, but he'll lose a lot of his army. Daniel's imp now. He clears up the army. The elephants are still going to work. Daniel can make a treb now. Dark is invested so much into that. He won't take the castle. And Daniel's running so low on stone. What a crazy game. I love this map. I'm surprised it hasn't been banned more, actually, because it's so difficult to play. So high pressure. Feels like Dark's food eco is way better, though. Like, being in Castle Age that much longer was so good for him. He's got such a crazy boom. And he's going to start to look to the sides now to see if he could distract Daniel somewhere else, because he can't engage in the middle. Daniel has to pretty much protect these trebs at all costs. Yes. Take these castles down. And Daniel trying to wall up the sides of his base, but those light cav will go through. So Daniel chasing that down. Now you have army from Dark headed this way to get raids. Daniel will have to chase that down. So yeah, Daniel has to push mid, but what you cannot do is you cannot chase... You can't let the raids kill you either. You have to somehow have the perfect balance here. This was very well played from Daniel. Dark was trying to kill those gold miners, and he garrisons there and kills all the CA. And he's got 2 treps. Bit of a raid here, but Daniel has some camels around. 70 on food for Dark. 70! How? How is his macro this good? And he's got stone and gold on the sides, too. He's got 3 relics. And he makes it to imp. But he's behind in pop because he doesn't have army right now. His plan is going to be to lose the middle, but raid the sides of Daniel's base non-stop with hussars. Tiny little skirmisher raid from Daniel won't do much. This is why I said if Daniel can get to camel, it's his best unit comp now. He really needs to get to camel somehow. And additional stone would be great too for castles, but that's kind of hard to find. There's not a ton out there. Daniel clicked heavy camel, but he doesn't have 70 on food, that's for sure. So he's going to have to get to like 50. He gets to camel, though. Dark will have a really tough time. You could actually raid with camels now if you're Daniel. If you raid with camels here, the only unit that Dark is prepared to send is hussars. Or I guess, from what I'm seeing, maybe his own camels. No castle. No middle. Like, beyond this hill is so much eco for Dark. But can Daniel actually advance out without being jumped by hussar? We'll see. Dark has to be very choosy on where he builds his castles now. I think building them towards the corners is fine, but you don't want the trebs to be able to snipe them for free. Dark also has to check this corner. He hasn't seen any of this yet. And Daniel clearly sees the hussars here and will run away. There's hussars over here as well. Oh, this is so tough for Daniel. There's so many different areas. But now if Daniel advances forward into Dark's base, Dark doesn't have much there if there's a big enough army. Daniel's getting raided a lot here. And if he's not losing the vills, there's idols. There's so many different spots to look at. He needs to react in this corner. He needs to react in this corner. And he also needs to find that target for the next move in the middle. Yeah, Daniel just reacted to that. Really tough to play for Daniel right now. And honestly, I think Dark adding his own camels is really smart. And this group like of 20 units for Daniel is pretty unhelpful, honestly, against what's coming in. Daniel will try and save his Trebs. The Hussars will have some pathing problems, but I think he could snipe these Trebs. And Dark has killed 45 villagers this game. He's got a 45 villager lead. He loses a TC, but he will take the Trebs. And he's still raiding Daniel on the outside. Daniel is just nonstop in and out of those TCs. Yeah, the crossbows and the Chukunu just offered so little in that fight. And Daniel couldn't upgrade them. And Daniel doesn't have gold. Daniel doesn't have gold! He's actually out of gold! There's no gold in the middle. It's just stone. There's a gold here, but Dark's about to castle it. Dark could see every single resource, guys. He sees the whole map. He knows. He's also got the 3 relics. There's actually not a ton left on the map. There's only 5k, so most of it's right there. Daniel is about to town center that, but that will be denied. And Dark just doing all the small things, man. He's pulling back camels into his own castle. Well, okay, well, the thought was there. He denies the TC. And Dark's just going to continue this crazy run of form. And he's going to get a 3-0 here. What crazy play. What crazy macro. I mean, his opponent was imp faster and took down both of his castles. And he's just been able to pick Daniel apart. Daniel just couldn't deal with raids. He sacrificed everything to win the middle. But the sides of his map is such a big problem for him. Dark beat Viper. Dark beat Valis. Dark, I mean, assuming he finishes this game and Daniel doesn't somehow come back, he will, yeah, have beaten Daniel. Unfortunately, I hate to call it early, but Daniel is no gold, guys. So it's like, and there's no way he gets gold because the gold is all secured by Dark. And now Dark is going to drop castle number, what, 3 on the outside? And we'll just secure more stone, the relic, what's left over here. Crazy. Just crazy. Daniel will maybe consider, like, going pikes or something here, but if you have 0 gold, you can't even get to Halb. And now Dark is going to come to the middle and retake the middle as well. He's going to have it all. The raids on the outside lead to the raids in the middle. And GG. Wow. So again, this is Daniel's home map. This is also a civilization in the Chinese that have done very well on this map every time we've seen them. And so you could see the strengths of Daniel throughout this whole series. Clearly likes to be aggressive, but Dark is just so good on every single type of map. He can play the closed maps, he can play the water maps, and he can play the land maps. He is well-rounded, and he's top of the group now in Group D, which I would not have predicted before coming into this. That was sick. Now, this game, like, I think, and I know it ended up getting some value at one point, but I think Daniel switching to crossbow was kind of, well, I don't know. A couple things Daniel could have maybe done differently is maybe instead of TC number 2 being here, he could have made TC number 3 here. We're talking much earlier in the game. Like this. When you've got this map control, I would have really liked to have seen the TC on the hill immediately. So maybe that's a small thing. Maybe it was army comp, like maybe crossbow against Persians isn't good. I don't know. It felt like his fights were good, but then the difference was after all the action, he goes imp, and then Dark stays in castle, and Dark's eco was ridiculous. Like this stage, Dark has 126 villagers versus 97. And he ended up losing a TC to the castle. Like, it was just unbelievable play from him. His macro was great. His awareness was good. He's a great player, man. And right now, it's looking like he's heading playoffs. Daniel, in the relegation zone, not looking good for him. He's under pressure in the last 2 rounds to win. I think both sets potentially, but we can look at that. Yeah, there's the boom for Dark. And KD looks pretty smooth. Everything looked fantastic. So,